Hey, brother.
How's it going?
Doing all right. I was just getting ready to start letting people in, and I'm looking for that stupid Defender link that I'm supposed to pimp.
Awesome.
Yeah. All righty. Maybe Amy, it was in marketing, I'm sure. All right. I'm really serious when I say it this time. I am done. No, it's not. I am done. I'm just done. That's it. I'm done.
Oh, wow.
Microsoft webinar launch. There we are. All
So,
right. Go ahead.
hang on a second.
No, and this is the truth. This is the
Hmm.
truth. No one's taking your spot. You're giving it away. No, I'm kidding.
Giving it away
Um,
willingly.
Mr. Guzman, this is your first office hours, is it not? Oh, he's still connecting. His audio went do wackadoo. He must be one of those Mac guys. Oh, all right. Got a few rolling in still, so we'll give it a minute.
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Carter. How are you, sir?
I'm living the dream. How are you?
Man, when it's like you've got a vacation coming, but it's like 2 weeks away, but your brain's already checked out.
Yes.
That's
I'm
not
I,
me. I'm totally focused on this. I
I,
swear.
no, I'm planning a vacation probably a year or two from now, I think. I have no idea where, exactly when, but I'm already checked out. I mean, I'm focused on this.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, as long as my boss is watching this, I'm so laser focused. It's not even funny.
Exactly.
I just like, um, everybody's still sort of piling in, but we'll go ahead and get rolling. Mr. Guzman, is this in fact your first office hours?
I believe so.
I believe it is. I believe it is. For anybody who hasn't met him yet, he's only been around for a week or two, but Mr. Guzman is one of our latest sales engineers, really sharp cat, came to us with a military background and then done some sort of, I wouldn't say alphabet agency work, but he does live in the greater DC metropolitan area. So he will be joining us, and our good friend Ben is not going anywhere. He'll still be around. But as Ben transitions more into the managed SaaS alerts field, I think his time is going to be a little more occupied by some of those efforts. And so he won't always be here. Now, Ben's got big shoes to fill, but so far, Mr. Guzman fills his own shoes just fine. So we're happy to have Logan join the team.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Anthony.
we'll see what his answer is to my question.
Yeah. Watch the chat, Logan, because they're going to start peppering you with stuff. So, what was your MOS?
Mine, when I was in the Marine Corps, was 5974. It was part of the Air Wing. It was a Tactical Data Systems Administrator. I believe they've actually done away with that MOS since then. Um, but
That's too smart for Marines. That's why.
I was going to say they replaced it with
right.
a paper clip or something.
Not enough crayons to go around.
That's exactly.
I was Navy, so as your big brother branch, I can make fun of you. It's fine.
Of course you
It's always
can.
good to have somebody drive that truck and deliver the Marines where they need to go, right?
I was on an aircraft carrier, Anthony. Okay.
That's awesome. I'm jealous.
My family's all Air Force, so we sort of look
Chair
down from
Force.
20,000 feet. Exactly, from 20,000 feet, we look down. It's like, boy, that looks like exercise. I'm not doing that. So,
Right.
Yep.
Let me get a new cup of coffee.
If you want to get treated right, go Air Force.
absolutely,
We,
guys. Oh, go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say the Air Force has the best chow, and
They
us
do
Marines
their
just
galleys. Oh my God.
yeah,
Their galleys are the best.
yeah.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. All right, so now it must be lunchtime because I'm hungry. Um, Everyone, welcome. We've been at this going on a year now, Ben. We're coming up on our 1 year anniversary of doing these office hours, and so it's good to see some of the regular players. It's good to see some new faces here and there. Mr. Guzman, to introduce you, what we try to do here is obviously tell a few jokes and talk about, some things that have absolutely nothing to do with security. But on the platform, there's a lot of things that evolve, and we want to make sure that everyone's apprised of what's going on, what's new, what's coming. And we try to solicit questions from the audience about where are they finding success? Are they finding respond rules? Have they found something interesting like the new, secret expiration thing in Fortify? Make sure that everyone on this call has, whoops, yeah, Mr. Kennedy jumping in as well, um, has been kept aware of how the platform is evolving. And if they have questions, love those. So the lead off, does anybody have any respond rules, anything that you've tried to put together that isn't working how you expected, anything that you want to demonstrate or anything you want to talk about? And that's usually how this goes. It really is. It really is.
That's awesome.
Just for some noise, we did have a little event. I mentioned it to Ben. It was somebody that tried to sneak in using a server that was marked as, a known threat, a known abuser, or whatever. So thankfully that helped us, get it really fast. So
It's
appreciate
fantastic. Great to hear, Rich. Yeah. I was this morning, I was on a call with a guy who's still in onboarding. It was our very first call. I just met him, and he put together just, hey, let me know if somebody logs in from outside of the country and let my cell know. He's already stopped one breach in his first. He got on board Monday, so we're really happy when we have stories like that. Eric, talk to me. What's going on, man?
I don't know if you want to go into the beta features at all, but I was trying to get someone on the Microsoft Defender and have not been successful yet because apparently, even though we have some people that are licensed for it, there's some prerequisite configuration there that needs to happen. But in general, if you could go over what adding that Microsoft Defender looks like or what possible things we might see when we do add that, that would be helpful.
And here's where I get to plead innocence. Take a look at the chat. There is a meeting coming up where all will be revealed, and our dev team is hard at it. I know there has been any number of, we've got a couple of partners that are doing some of the early adopter testing, but I'll be honest with you, Eric, I really don't know how much we're going to get out of Defender day one and what we think our long-term capabilities are there. And so I hope everyone will join us for that launch webinar, and it's Wednesday the 21st. So we got about a week, about 8 days from now. If you can't join us, of course, it'll be on the YouTube channel the next day. But do join us if you have the opportunity. I promised Amy I would pimp that out. So now you've been told, show up, guys. And the long and the short of it is, Ben, can you give us, the whys and the wherefores? What do we hope to get out of Defender, and what would an MSP do with that information once he had it?
Sure. Let's see. Okay, so you're right. You have to perform an action in order to convert the existing Defender that's on a Windows machine to start using the endpoint, the Defender for endpoint. There's a script that you can run that will basically perform that for you. I know it's in here somewhere. I'm not exactly positive as far as which one that is. I don't know if you've done that before, but if it's been done and it's successful, you should see some compliance here. Let's see here. And the antivirus should also show up as, mine's going to say probably inactive. But I do know it's in here, Eric. Have you looked in here yet before?
Not yet, not in great detail. I know that we have other people on our team that are more versed in this part of it, and I was going to eventually lean on them too to see.
Yeah, hang on 1 second. Let me do this. Give me 2 seconds here. Let me fire up my other virtual machine. All right, while that boots up, I will I know that there's a specific script that you have to run in order to make this happen. I don't think it flips on automatically. But I do know that once it's in there, you should see under antivirus, you should see now the machine's turned off, so it's not enabled, but you should see some stuff show up in here. But as far as actual data that you'll be seeing in SaaS alerts, and I'll jump back to that other thing in a second. Just want to show you this. So once you've requested the beta and it's in there, you can select it via a product here, and that will show just the Defender messages, which is what I'm going to run right now. Hopefully everybody can see this. Okay, I want to make my screen just a little bit longer. There we go. But essentially what will happen is we'll have a couple of different events. This is just monitoring info. The ones that are like obviously the more important ones are the monitoring event. And if you drill into these, you'll be able to see exactly what happened. You'll see recommendations show up, and all the good information is actually under joint description, which is filterable, but respond is not set up with these guys yet. So, you'll see the information here, but you're not going to be able to take kind of any action quite yet, but hopefully soon. But in this instance, it's detected me trying to install a backdoor. In this one, it was WannaCry. So it will show you kind of what it did. And Microsoft's pretty good at stopping that sort of stuff. Any questions about this so far?
No, that's helpful. Thanks.
Sure.
Eric, if you go to settings in the platform and customize alert severity, you can always hit the pull down there and see by application what alerts we're seeing. And yeah, so Ben's going to walk through this, go to customize alerts, and then available apps, and you look at Defender. That's what we're pulling so far. Obviously, we're going to build this out and continue to add to that. We're just this is obviously in beta, and but that's always been our process, is once we've got our hooks into any application, then we build out as much data here as we can.
Yeah. You are correct. You are correct.
Excellent.
And this is just saying that it was prevented. Obviously, it's done its job. Let's see. I'm not sure if it gives any more information in here. I think this is the initial detection. Yeah. So this is the detection, and the other one was the prevention. Just followed up with it. So this was me trying to load lasagna or lasagna. It's a fun program to get going, and easy to obfuscate from Defender if you're ever wanting to pull everybody's password from all their browsers. But no, that's a fun one.
And I don't even want to know where you store these tools. It's like, it's just like, you're going to pick up a jump drive from Ben one day and accidentally plug it into a device, and it's going to eat your lunch.
You don't ever do that. I mean, I have a funny story about that. I purchased, I don't know if you guys know what an Arduino board is, but it can be a very, very tiny little device. And they make ones that are also the size of a USB key with just a regular USB plug. And it essentially fires up an operating, a computer running off of that USB drive. What you can do is program it to emulate, that's commonly referred to as rubber ducky, and it emulates a keyboard and does a bunch of commands and everything. And so we were having a company meeting at my last MSP, and I brought one and I put it on the table, and me and my other friend were talking about it, and one of the other technicians comes in, picks it up and says, "Oh, what's this?" and puts it in his computer right immediately. And I'm like, "Are you kidding me right now?" So from then on out, he was ridiculed mercilessly, and never let that. Yes. Sorry.
Absolutely.
What's this? And I mean, it doesn't even look like a thumb drive. It looks like a circuit board kind of. It's just very small, but they're super cheap. You can get them for like $5 a pop, which is much cheaper than rubber ducky. It does the same thing, and yeah, it's just as bad. But I thought that was funny.
It is.
Um,
So yeah, look for plenty more details from the dev crew on that meeting, on that webinar in 8 days. Please join us if you can. And I don't know how far down the rabbit hole we're going to go with this, but we'd like to go as far and as deep as we can to dig as much out of Defender for Endpoint as we can.
Sounds good.
Any other?
Thanks.
You got it, of course.
give me
I wish
just
I had a better
a
answer for you, but our dev guys, they do play things pretty close to the chest.
Yeah, it's beta. I didn't expect a lot.
Yeah, and other things that are still in beta, like Duo, we have doubled the number of alerts that we're getting out of Duo now. So that's it's up to 2. Duo is a little bit of a challenge there.
Okay. So Eric, what you're looking for is basically something like this. I think this is the onboarding for Endpoint. Yes. So this article, I believe, should take you to where you want to go. I'll put that in the chat.
Thank you, Ben. Now, Ben, for my education, since I haven't sat in your chair in a very long time, do I have to have Entra to run this script? Can I use that same script with, Datto or Synchro or any of the other RMMs, or how do I get this happening?
Oh yeah, it's a very, very basic power script. You can run it with any of your RMMs.
Very good.
There's also apparently looks like there might just be a registry key you can change too. But it's, it also, requires this to be kind of, I think, joined with, like your device as like, does that whole like Microsoft work account. So it's like intra joined, I think is what it's called. I think I had to do that as well in order for it to show up, but feel free to prove me wrong. I basically just got it going and just started downloading malware to see what it did. So
from all that malware you keep just hanging around. And Ben, for the partners, does this require a certain level of licensing for their clients, or does this work with Office Basic?
Good question. By the way, if you ever want malware, here to go to Malware Bazaar. Let's see here.
I feel like I should wash my machine right now just watching this.
Probably should. Probably not a bad idea. This matrix here is pretty up to date, and if you're wondering what you need as far as licensing is concerned, this should give you a little bit of indication. This one, so they do Endpoint here. So it is included with I think F5, E5 security, E5, but also it comes with, I believe, premium.
Premium.
It doesn't have all the bells and whistles with premium, but it has a lot of them, like all the really, really cool, important stuff. Advanced hunting, obviously, it doesn't have that, but I mean, if you're just protecting your environments, I think you'll be just as fine. And I believe you can also purchase this as a standalone. I think it's $3 per user, but one way to justify that, if you do have somebody that is using multiple machines, I believe it's not $3 per device, it's $3 per user. Again, feel free to prove me wrong. But if we look here, I was looking under there. I think their pricing. Oh, they have a trial too. You can fire up the free trial and get it working immediately if you just want to test it out. Oh, fun. My screen went black. There it goes. And we're back.
What, Microsoft trying to sell you something? Come on. I'm never going to mess with your screen.
So yeah, it has that, and it has the P2. There's a pricing structure on there too. If you guys are with Pax8 or something, I'm sure you can find it a lot quicker than I can. But I found it before, and it's
$3 per user.
Like
What it said right up there. Yeah.
Oh, Oh yeah, yeah,
Hey, if
yeah.
it's the AI said it, it must be true.
Yeah, I guess there's different plans for it, which um yeah, that's plan two included with business. So yeah, if you have somebody with basic, you might be able to just go away with that. But it's not bad for what it does. I mean, it's essentially like an EDR. So
Very cool.
and good news is once we start really rolling this out to managed SaaS alerts, we'll also be monitoring these events as well and kind of incorporating that with our service. So
Excellent.
it'll be
Excellent.
fun.
Thank you for that overview, Ben. Really appreciate it. Does anybody have any questions about what we know about Defender for Endpoint in SaaS Alerts so far?
Or if I'm wrong, if you know better than me, then that's okay too.
Very fair. Very fair. Is there anybody here that is not planning to show up for that webinar? Because we want to make sure if we get the recording early to get that in your inbox, your account managers can help with that. If you guys don't think you'll be there, just let us know. Beauty.
Um, I think they renamed it to Defender for Business too. I don't know if anybody knows if that's any different than Endpoint, Defender for Endpoint, but I've seen this used like along with Endpoint.
Well, the Defender for Business is what comes with the higher level tier, but it's the same product, but you just have more
Okay.
integration. Same thing.
Okay, cool. I was wondering, I couldn't get like a straight answer on that from Microsoft, surprise. And so I was wondering if that was the case. But it was like it was looking okay, so it looks like it's 5 devices per user too, with no minimum device requirement, which is kind of cool. It
Yeah,
also
but
does.
why would you care? I mean, I'm just asking because at the end of the day, right, we're selling as MSPs, or at least I am, on a per seat basis, right?
Yeah.
Like, so you're a seat. If you have multiple devices, cool, no problem, right? So, I mean, this would be more for like home user type stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess I like I know some software vendors are like, here you can have this product for business and then you can load up your home machines too with the same kind of protection. So maybe it kind of fall in line with that.
Yeah, but the challenge is what is the value to the MSP, right? Like, I don't want to do extra work to manage and load these tools, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, when they buy Office, even the business premium, you can load it on your home PCs,
True.
and multiple. And I don't care, right? Because it doesn't negatively affect the security of the enterprise. So I don't really care. But when you start talking about, other tools, right, then I become responsible for other situations that I don't want to be responsible for.
I can see that. Do you think $3 a month is a reasonable price for that sort of thing, or?
Well, look at it this way. What consumer grade antivirus product would you use?
Defender.
Okay, well, Windows Defender is free. Windows Defender for Business is just an upscaled version.
Yeah.
So if you were going to go buy Avast or Bitdefender or insert your product here, right, you're going to pay $30 to $50, for per year. And now, granted, you have it across multiple devices, but same thing. This is $36 a year, and you get it on multiple devices. So why would it not have value?
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting you bring that up, Stephen, because that's something that we were actually talking about internally, literally yesterday, is so much of this stuff. If I could buy a third party thing and then I have to charge my client for it, that's a line item. If it's baked into something that Microsoft is already doing, they've already bought on to buying the Microsoft product. And if Microsoft raises their price by $3 to add in this functionality, they're not angry at you. They're angry at Microsoft. And that really shifts a lot of the conversation there. And So that was just, it was something interesting that we were sort of kind of a tabletop and spitballing, whatever you want to call it. We were talking about this just yesterday. So
Sure. Yeah, listen, we strive diligently to stay away from home machines, because they're going to do what they're going to do on their home machines. And when something doesn't work and they blame whatever said, again, insert product here that I put on their machines, now I have to then support their machines, even if it's not their fault. And how happy are they going to be when they get, a 1 hour bill, regardless of what the price is? And I show them, you're an idiot. You did this. And then you called me for support, blaming me. Here's the proof that it's not me. Now pay me $175 or $200 or whatever said MSP is charging.
Yeah.
It's literally a no-win scenario. So we don't touch them.
Can't blame me. Residential work was the
Absolutely.
worst when I was doing my MSP, and I hated it.
Well, listen, if you're going to pay full rate, I will take your call all day long. If you're not going to pay full rate, then I don't want any part of it.
Yep. It's true.
It's kind of funny. You just said something else there, Stephen, that we were talking about. I've had a couple of partners mention that as much as they like our product from, a security standpoint and everything else, there have been a number of times that it's been useful of saying, we told you to do this, and here is where you turned that off. And I have that in the logs, even though we told you to do that. And then when you got bitten, there's our proof that it was not our fault, that sort of thing. And it's funny that, we want to be proactive and keep the bad guys out and everything else. And sometimes we're protecting our own business against our clients and their idiot end users who swear in a stack of Bibles this high. No, you didn't tell me to do that. No, you didn't turn that on. No, I didn't turn it off. No, yeah, you did. So
yeah, 100%.
Enrique, you keep throwing things at me that I keep looking at. Centralized management, what comes biz premium, all that stuff in the matrix. That's good stuff. Thank you for that. Anybody who's not looking at the chat, Enrique's got some good stuff to share there. Oh no, we're perfectly okay with that, Enrique.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool site, especially when it comes to deciphering Microsoft's licenses.
If I can sidetrack y'all for 30 seconds,
please.
Unless Ben has some feedback, but
always
we signed up for, and I think I mentioned it last week, but the EUC toolbox. Did you get a chance to look at it?
Yes. We could never get it to work. A couple of the guys hung around on the call afterwards, and we're having some hiccups with it. But I don't know if that was because of my developer tenant or what. But
we're using it. We deployed it, and we've got a direct line to the developer. I'm sure you do as well. And we've there's a little bit of a learning curve because it's a one-man band, developing it. But
that's the impression I got.
Yeah, but it actually works pretty well.
Really?
Yeah. We're because listen, nobody can think of everything, right? So when you have somebody that's like, here is Microsoft best practice on your Office tenant, and you take it and you just deploy it, and it builds everything out, and it creates all the groups, and it does all that stuff, and then you just have to put the people in the groups, right? And you know that you're already at Microsoft best practice. It's pretty slick, and then you can build around it. So if you guys, want a, Ben or Anthony or Logan, the new guy, we're just going to call him the new guy.
The new guy.
But I'm sure I can get, Ben, on a meeting, and we can kind of give you a demo, because I'm wondering how I could get SaaS Alerts and you guys to talk, right? And maybe I don't need to per se, but boy, it sure would be neat if I could say, here's my baseline, and if anything changes, please send me an alert. You know what I mean? Because right now I have to go into the daily checks and then see if anything drifted, because they're, once it's set, right, the baseline, if it changes, in a negative fashion, I can go to the daily activity checker and go, hey, why did this drift? So Enforcer does that, Enrique. Enrique, you're going to have to give maybe
Enforcer is a new name in the market. They sort of showed up about right at boom last year. So I guess was that March. And I actually used to work with one of the guys over there. So yeah, they've thrown their hat in the ring along with a bunch of the other also ran some of the newer guys. So we'll see how they go. Their marketing has been aggressive. They're not afraid to put their name out there. So
I'll check it out. Thanks, Enrique. Appreciate it.
And Anthony, you might want to toss that vendor up to like Chip or somebody too, to see if that's something that we're interested in. Because I know that we were looking about that.
Thanks for teeing that up, Ben. So, it's funny. We were talking about this yesterday with Chip, and he was abundantly clear. And this is kind of in another context, but give me a moment and I'll get there. So many of our vendors, whether they're, IT glue or anybody, if they'll talk to us and have some conversation with us, we want to work with them. We want to monitor every application out there that's got a decent syslog data in their APIs. So if you guys have an inroads with a vendor that you would like to have us monitor, and we're not currently monitoring it, do not hesitate to reach out to your account manager and let's get Chip and your vendor in the same room together. Chip loves talking to these guys, and we can go back and forth with emails and they can look at our website. Maybe they'll understand, maybe they won't. But Chip, if anybody who's met him or been in any meetings with him, he's pretty good at reading the room. And in 5 minutes, he can probably explain to a vendor the importance of sharing data, allowing us to at least watch what the end users are doing, and maybe the advantages of opening up that API to reach back and make some changes and stop bad guy behavior. Kind of going down that same path. That's what I was just thinking when Stephen, you were talking about some of the functionality and some of the things you're interested in. Reach out to your account manager. I would love to put that application and Chip in the same room and kind of just let them go and see what happens.
Yeah. And then the other thing, and I know I'm way early on this, but I'm assuming you guys are going to go to IT Nation as a vendor. Is that fair?
We were talking. Hey, guess what we were talking about yesterday? I don't remember. Yeah, I know the marketing folks have got a whole list of folks and wherever they're going. And since I only try to go to one show a year, I try to ignore all that as much as possible. I'm sorry, I just don't know, Stephen. I suspect we are.
Well, the reason I'm asking is are you guys going to hold like a raffle or anything like that with free tickets for MSPs?
Reach out to your account manager with that question. And I mean that in all sincerity. I genuinely don't know, but they will have visibility of which shows. Yeah, Enrique, that doesn't work. I've seen you attend shows this year. Yeah, Enrique has no self-control in that area.
Daniel
yeah,
said we will be an IT Nation. We've given out tickets before, I thought, but I mean, we can check with Amy.
Nice. Thanks for that, Daniel. So yeah, I think at least some of our folks are going to be there, and let's definitely reach out to your account manager. Let's have that conversation. If there's something we can do to help, great. And Ben's right. We've had last minute tickets to some shows, even like Right a Boom. That if we can get some of you guys involved, we're happy to help. Happy to help anytime we can. Daniel, nobody wants you there. That's why you're not invited. Anybody who's new to this call will know that I have a long history with our sales team, and I love throwing them under the bus and vice versa. Guys, thanks. This has been a good conversation. I'm a bit wandering. Before we get out of here, Dave, because we only have about 25 more minutes, did anybody actually have any technical deep dive, any questions about the platform, about Defender, about anything that we've talked about so far? Got a light crew today, so not surprising. Ben, anything else
I
that
have
you
a
want to
question.
wrap up from? Yes.
This we touched on this before, but where do you put support? I mean, feature requests for just the reports generator, or does
Absolutely.
it go into the regular thing?
I would absolutely email your account manager and make sure that gets onto our Note board. And Rich, if you haven't been exposed to our Note board, it's not exactly a roadmap, but it is a way of sort of seeing what other partners are asking for. And there's some minor status updates that, they'll say, oh, they're researching it or what have you. And if anybody needs or wants access to that, reach out to your account manager. It's something that we play pretty close to the chest, but most of the frequent flyers on this call are folks that are already there or have some exposure to that. But yeah, definitely talk to your account manager.
I've been on the Knowles page, so I'll just go back there again.
That's the one.
Right, thank you.
That's the one. I thought absolutely, Rich. Absolutely. So again, any other questions? Anything else that is on anybody's mind? Ben, I'm out of things to talk about. How about you, brother?
Yeah, I'm kind of distracted today anyway. We got a lot of really good stuff. For those of you that did sign up for MSA, you should be getting some emails here probably within the next 24 48 hours. So I'm making really good progress there. But yeah, doing really good.
Excellent, excellent. And thanks for bringing it up, David. It's not so much a space shuttle, but I am happy to see that the Raptor 3 engine fired had a successful test bed run. So we'll be sure and talk about that on the next one. No, all right, guys. I want to thank everybody for stopping by today and give you about 20 minutes of your day back. Any questions, reach out to us, reach out to your account managers. Really appreciate you all having a good day, showing up and having a good day.
All right, thank you. Take care.
Bye. Guys.